While school is almost out for summer, there is an urge for many to get vaccinated due to a spike in meningitis cases. This segment is sponsored by the Virginia Department of Health. Immunization Data Manager Erica Hunter joins us now to talk about the importance of vaccinations. Erica, welcome to the Hampton Roads Show.
Thank you so much for having me today.
We are talking about vaccinations, but specifically about meningitis. Talk about meningitis. How does it spread, and what should we know about it?
Yeah, so meningitis or meningococcal disease is a severe and in some cases deadly bacterial infection that affects the brain and the spinal cord. Most cases of meningitis are caused by a bacteria known as Neisseria meningitidis, and about 1 in 10 people actually have this bacteria in their throat and nose without becoming ill. But sometimes the bacteria can invade the body and cause meningitis if it reaches the brain. So about 10% of cases of meningitis in children and teens, the cases are caused by these bacteria in the United States. So specifically, people can spread meningococcal bacteria to others by sharing respiratory and throat secretions, so saliva or mucus. But generally it takes close or lengthy direct contact to spread the bacteria. So for example, coughing could spread it as well.
And Erica, how would somebody know if they have this bacteria? How would they know if they could be potentially a spreader?
Yeah, so the most common symptoms of meningitis include fever, severe headache, often described as a pounding headache, and a stiff neck. Some additional symptoms that someone with meningitis may experience includes nausea and vomiting, and even an altered mental status. So you may experience confusion or unusual behavior.
And who is at a higher risk of contracting meningitis?
Yeah, so children under the age of 5 years old would be at a greater risk. Those that have a weakened immune system, so those with infectious diseases such as HIV and AIDS, people that have had their spleen removed would be at greater risk, military recruits, and older teens such as college students.
We know that meningitis is very painful and deadly. How do we treat meningitis?
Yeah, so doctors typically treat meningitis with the use of antibiotics. But if you have symptoms, it's very important that you seek medical care as soon as possible. As treatment is most effective, the sooner you get it. And unfortunately, meningitis can cause permanent damage. So if you or your child have symptoms of meningitis, you want to make sure you see a doctor as soon as possible. There's no specific cure for meningitis, but there are ways to prevent it. And the best way to protect yourself and your child against meningitis would be to receive the meningitis vaccines. You can also reduce the risk of meningitis by using good hygiene practices, as well as avoiding close contacts with individuals that may possibly have meningitis. So you want to make sure you distance yourself if you suspect that as well.
And Erica, you did mention vaccines. Are meningitis vaccines available here in Virginia?
They are available in Virginia. So meningitis vaccines can be given to children, teens, and adults. The CDC recommends that people get vaccinated against meningitis at age 11 to 12. And there are 2 types of meningococcal vaccines that are licensed in the United States and available in Virginia. The first is the meningococcal conjugate vaccine, also known as MenACWY. And the second is the serogroup B vaccine, and it's also referred to as MenB. So specifically with the MenACWY vaccine, this is given in 2 doses. The first dose is given recommended between 11 to 12. It's required in Virginia for students to receive it prior to 7th grade. And the second dose, also considered a booster dose, is recommended by CDC at 16 years of age. And that particular dose is required in Virginia prior to entry into the 12th grade. The MenB vaccine protects against a different strain of bacteria, so that's going to protect against serogroup B specifically, and MenB is recommended at between 16 to 18 years of age and typically given before entering college. Now, because the two vaccines protect against different strains, they are given separately for the best protection. And parents should speak with their child's doctor to learn more about MenB specifically to see if that vaccine is right for their teen. We also encourage parents to visit www.vahealthy.org to get more information and to find vaccine locations near you.
Erica, thank you so much for all that information, and thank you again for joining us here on the Hampton Roads Show.
All right, thank you so much for having me.
This segment is sponsored by the Virginia Department of Health. For more information on the importance of vaccinations, you can visit their website, www.vahealthy.org, or give them a call, 1-877-829-4682. You can also search Protect the Ones You Love on Facebook and Instagram for more info on the show. And if you would like to get vaccinated this weekend, you can do it at the Juneteenth Festival. All the information for the event is posted right there on your screen and over on the HRS website page.